There's the red.
We are live. Hi, guys. Welcome into another Jewel Loom School Live. We have the fearless leader here tonight with us for a little bit, Jules, and she's going to tell us some fun stuff about the SilverSilk Loom and some other stuff. So,
yeah. First of all, I just want to talk about our color scheme.
Yes, we are totally coordinated.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. So. And I feel a little Las Vegas-y when I wear kind of a cross between Vegas and Hugh Hefner, right? With this crazy like faux velvet crushed.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm all about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'm in.
We got all kinds of guys coming in so far.
Yeah.
Joyce.
Yeah, Joyce and Bonnie.
Sherry and Bonnie and Amber, our love, is here. Hi, guys. We are here to make a fun SilverSilk bracelet.
Yeah. And I wanted to, and they're Jewel Loom, a.k.a. Joan.
Yeah.
Hi, Stephanie. And Linda.
And there's Linda. Hi, Linda. Hi, Paula. Our whole group's coming in now. Our girls.
The peeps are here. Well,
now I'm going to ask you guys on the chat. Now tell me if my air conditioner is too loud for you. If it's like roaring in the background and you can't hear me or something, let me know and I can shut it off. I will roast, but I will shut it off for you.
She'll be hotter than she already is.
Can't tell, Joyce says. So, Joyce, you won in my column. Hi, Linda. Hi, honey. So glad you're here with us tonight.
I know. So special. I love seeing everybody's name, and I really love it in our workshops when I get to see everyone's face.
I know. It's so cool.
Yeah.
We have such a good group, too.
Yes. Super awesome. And I have been frantically, I hate to use that word, just very committed to the process of getting the boxes out by tomorrow.
Yes.
Because I the way I design is sometimes very direct and sometimes a vision, and then it bursts over time. Mm-hmm. And so this month is kind of like that. This month is very much a like a rose trellis with all the really cool triangle. I had the rose bead, rose button made for us.
Oh,
this is
so
for the
pretty.
workshop people. The triangle.
Look at you.
And then I also incorporated the hexagon. And then I got a little wild and did some beading on the ends. We do have some kits still available for the May workshop, so those are in there. But I wanted the button to also be a focal part in case your bracelet turned.
Yeah.
Right. So this could be the front of your bracelet or the back, either way. But I envisioned like a trellis. So I did the natural hemp. And so anyway, this is our May project for our workshop, and I have just been.
You're always a busy lady, but especially this time of month, I think.
Right. This time of the month, it's like crazy. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to waste any of your valuable time before you see this amazing bracelet that you have made, because it is for. I love it.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah. So when when Neely had asked me to come back and do one of his collab things, and this was like late last year, and we were talking about doing it earlier this year, and I was like, well, by chance, I had been working on the fiber loom one night, and I stuck some of his chain in one of the grooves, and I was like, stop the presses. Like, are you kidding me right now? Because I really had no idea that the chain fit the grooves on the fiber loom so well. So when he asked me to come back earlier this year, I was like, you know what? I want to make him a loom. I want to do something that's for the SilverSilk chain. And since then, it has definitely blossomed into other materials. But I just love it for the silver silk. I love silver silk. I think that it is just phenomenal. It's gorgeous. I love
Thanks.
all the colors.
Me too.
But this
So
is the
high-end
silver
looking.
silk loom. And what I wanted to point out is that it's very, in many, many ways, different than the fiber loom in that it's got this triple ply solid piece of wood in the middle of it, whereas the fiber loom had a huge opening. It was more of a rectangular type of shape, but I wanted this one to be more narrow. So you've got a 2¼ inch wide area to weave in by 8¼ but we also put teeth all the way around. So when I refer to teeth, I'm referring to these guys, right? And so you could literally weave from the top to the back side of your SilverSilk loom. And so it's solid. I mean, this thing is not going anywhere. It's very solid, super easy to work on. And not only can you use the SilverSilk, but Danielle Wicks was using a product from, correct me if I'm wrong, from John Beads, I believe. And she was doing macrame. And I just thought that was phenomenal. And so whether it's sari ribbon, fibers, macrame, SilverSilk, and you can mix the SilverSilk with all those other things to make a really, special, unique piece of jewelry. And so, so I wanted to show off really quick. This is where it started. This is the bracelet I did the first round, so last year, right?
Yeah.
And so we used one of the Jewel Loom buttons, and we did this very simple kind of technique with, a single row of beads. Then we came back this year, did something similar, but we added the bigger button, the sword, and used the actual SilverSilk loom. Yes. And then this one I just think is to die for. So this has got your double, more traditional weaving in that you have multiple warps. And so just an idea that you can also do multiple warps, not just singles. But so I love this loom. The retail is $35.99. When you go to the jewelloom.com website, you are going to need to sign up for the newsletter in order to get access to the SilverSilk loom. Okay, so you're going to be greeted with that. Joan, I think you could probably put that link up there. And you're also going to get a 15% off coupon. Now, that's not going to apply to the SilverSilk loom, but it will apply to any of the beads or any other products that you do choose to purchase. And of course, totally encourage you to use Tricia's affiliate link that Joan will share with you as well. And I'm always good about monitoring the orders that come in on Thursdays and the day after. So, but it's always helpful if you do use that link. So so I just wanted to give the loom itself a little bit more time so that people understand how sturdy. I mean, it's solid. It's super, super solid.
I really enjoy that about it.
Yeah, and portable enough that if you do want to take it with you, you absolutely can. We're approaching the summer months, so if it's something you want to drop into your little bag with some SilverSilk and some 9x6 gem cuts, you can find these in the shop as well. You will go to Nilay's silversilkonline.com, if I'm not mistaken, to purchase the SilverSilk, and then these adorable findings that he has. They're actually made to fit the ends of the SilverSilk product. So good stuff. And your project today is phenomenal. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's royal and regal. And it's in that delicious burnt red colors. But by all means,
that's for next week. The burnt red is
next week. What's today? Oh, that's not. Is that?
Well, it has the beads in it. What's that, honey?
If you look at the picture, it looks red. Or I'm just
totally there's red in the beads. These gem cut beads have red.
So funny. Okay.
Yeah.
So whatever. It's gorgeous.
Oh yeah. Well, no, and I am. You probably had a little what's the word, intuition or something going on, because today I'm going to make it with the dark rose. So
well,
I bet you just had intuition.
I knew it. I just had a vision.
You knew.
Oh my gosh. I don't care what you do. Everything you do is fabulous.
Oh.
Like whatever. You know what I mean? Like
I will take that compliment any day of the week.
Yeah. You and Amber, you just rock it. And so
yes.
I trust you completely.
Don't forget our lovely Amber.
Yes. God bless her. Okay.
Well,
so
I'm going to put you full screen.
Out.
Well, I'm going to put you full screen so I can switch my camera.
Oh, okay.
Just for a second, and we'll be like all Jules. And then I'll come back.
Okay.
Whoops, wrong person.
Wrong person.
What is happening? You do it. You can probably get yourself up there better than me. This is why I miss Amber. She knows all that technical stuff. See, that's me too.
You want me there? I got to remove you. You know what? Maybe it's because I came into the room first. I don't know. Okay, and I can't hear a word she's saying, so I hope that I can know when she wants to come back. Oh my heck. So I heard that Neely actually might pop in, and I have got a bump in my hair that I didn't do. It looks like, who is that one actress that did that? And she always had that thing. Hi, Rosalinda. I'm like always calling in some 1920s, 30s, 40s. Oh, Amber, I'm still working on who won. So I'm going to go off camera and work on that and then sneak in that name. So,
okay.
Yeah, so thanks everyone. Oh, whoa. Okay. So I'm going to give you full screen. Right?
All right. Awesome. And of course I have one of my visitors barking, my little baby's barking back in the background, of course. Uh-oh. They always like to entertain. All right, Jules, I'll see ya. Thanks. Okay, guys, so here we are with the beautiful SilverSilk loom, just as Jules was just talking. Just love it. And I really like she was saying, the thickness of it. It really it's a pleasure to work with, for sure. So, guys, as I was showing there, this is our project for this week. Get it up in the camera. And there's SilverSilk on both sides, and I do use wire, and I do use those 9x12 jump cut beads that Jules was talking about. It's and some seed beads. I think it makes a really big impact, and it's not too awful hard. So I would like to share that with you. So today, as I said, I'm going to be using this beautiful dark rose. This is the capture chain, and it has the ball chain inside. I also have the gem cut beads here. I have some 11-0 seed beads. This color that I'm using is actually one of my favorites. This is transparent rainbow rosaline. And of course I have a couple ends here, and then some 26 gauge wire. I already cut this. And the amount of wire that we're going to need is approximately a wingspan. Now, if you do have to go back and add wire on, you can certainly do that as you're working. Bye, Jules. Or hi, Jules. One or the other. She's waving. You can't see her. And I'm not just making it up on my head, although I do that kind of stuff. But anyway, you can use your 26 gauge wire. Now 24 would also work, guys. But I like 26. It's a little easier. It's almost like a weaving thread. Okay. So to get started, I'm going to unroll this. We're not going to use it just right this second, but I'll have it ready for me over there. And it's just as simple as using your SilverSilk. And what I usually do, I'll usually go in like one of the grooves, go in one from the edge. I don't know. I'm just weird that way, I guess. But I usually will catch it on the bottom, catch it in that second groove, bring it across to the other second groove. Okay. And then we're going to skip one groove, and then go in the one beside that, and then come back and skip a groove and go in the one beside that, and then come down. And that's as simple as it gets, guys, right? I mean, that's one nice thing. The SilverSilk makes it so easy to work your loom. And then I'm just going to take a pair of snippers and I'm just going to trim off the SilverSilk. And I have a lot to use for another time. And so there we go. That's as simple as that. We have our warps on. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take our 26 gauge wire, as I said, and this is about a wingspan. And I'm going to try to be very careful when I'm unwinding this, because what you'll find with your 26 gauge wire, it'll kink on you so super easy, guys. So you got to be real gentle with it. And as I said, you could use 24. 24 will be a little harder to weave. But if you're experienced, it may just be fine for you. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to start just like we would any other project. I'm going to move this up here so you can see any other looming project. And we're going to hook on to this leftmost warp. Okay. And all I'm going to do simply is I'm going to take my wire underneath here and lay it across. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail on it, maybe a couple inches there, just so I have something to kind of hold on to as I'm wrapping. And I'm going to go one wrap around. Now another trick with your wire, guys, you want to always keep in mind, when you're either wire weaving or weaving on the loom or anything like that with your wire where you need to stitch almost with it, the best technique to use is to push the wire through and then pull that loop. Okay, that's going to give you a lot less kinks and a lot less problems in the long run. I'll just get this out of the way here. Because if you just start pulling, you'll get kinks and then you won't be able to get the kinks out and the wire looks terrible and you have to start over with the project. Okay. So once we get that through and it's coming around and we've got our wraps on, we're going to just do two wraps through just to make sure we have a good and linked on here. Okay. And again, I'm pulling that around. And this is a little unruly at first. You'll see that, guys. The way this is kind of moving around and the wire's kind of fighting me the whole way. It's a little unruly. But once you kind of get the first few rows in, it's a little easier to deal with. So I'm just pulling the rest of that through. And if you did start out with a shorter length of wire, it wouldn't be as unruly for you. So that's your call. If you just want to, put wire in, you're certainly able to do that. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm just going to take my pliers and I'm just going to kind of, without catching the SilverSilk wire, I'm just going to push those wires close together. Okay, and I want to make sure I have that on there snug. So I'm going to grab this because this is our hook into this. This is our link into it. So we want to make sure that's nice and solid. I'm going to put my thumb there and I'm going to kind of give this just a pull, not too hard, but just enough that I know it's hooked in there. Okay, I'll show you guys if you can see it. It's so fine, it's hard to see, but that's what we have so far. Now we're going to come back at the end and we're going to make this into a beautiful swirl at the end, just to kind of sit up here pretty on the SilverSilk chain. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and move ahead. So the next thing we're going to do, guys, as I'm coming up to the end of my wire. Okay. And I'm going to cut a little bit of this, guys, because if I have to put more on, I will, just to make my life easier. We're going to add on 2 seed beads. Okay. Move this over so you can see it. And we're just going to add on 2 seed beads. I can catch them on my wire. There we go. And you can see where we ended here, guys. We're kind of coming up on the outside of the warps. And I let my beads fall. And I'm going to lay them across the SilverSilk like so. I'm going to bring this down just a smidge for you guys because I think that might help with all this fine beads and such. And then I'm just going to push it through that center just like we did the first time. And I like to use this little wire for a little while sticking out as my little handle almost, guys. It just makes life a little easier. Now, when you're doing this, make sure you keep your thumb on your seed beads on the top because they'll sneak around on the wire if you don't, okay? So now we have that, and we're just going to give that a nice little snug. Okay. And now we're going to grab our gem cut bead. Okay, and these are beautiful. These have, it's hard to see, guys, but these have a little bit of amethyst color to them. I know it's probably not coming through on the screen, but they are quite pretty. All right. So again, we're coming up on the outside of that SilverSilk, and we only need one, not two. I know you guys are anxious, but get back there. And we're going to lay that across just like so. And then we're going to take our wire on the outside of the rightmost SilverSilk and push it up through the center. And you can see how I'm doing that loop up through the center. Kaylee, excuse me one moment, guys. I'm going to shut my door. I always feel bad when their dad's not home and leave the door open, and I should know better. I should know better at this point. But anyway, so we're on that rightmost SilverSilk, the right side, and we have wrapped around one time. We've brought it across the top, wrapped it around, and now we're going to take it back up. And as we're taking it back up, we're going to take it through the middle, but we are going to add the rest of our seed beads to make that cross section. Move up, guys. So the cross section I'm talking about, guys, is this, actually, is this set of beads that go across the center. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going across the top. So there's 2 on the sides, 6 across the middle. Okay. So before, actually, guys, on that last one, before we wrapped around the second time, we should have added 2 seed beads. So let me just take that back through, add 2 seed beads, and then I'm going to take this bracelet off because it's going to, anything you have around will get caught on your wire, guys. So just kind of clear the way, take everything off your wrists, and just be smart about it so you're not fighting with it the whole time. So we're going to pick up 2 more seed beads. All right. And before we bring it up through the center, we're going to place 2 more seed beads on top of the SilverSilk. Okay. We drop those beads down. Just like so. Again, I know that's probably hard to see. Bring it down as smooth as I can here, guys. Is that better? And then we're going to take the wire around the rightmost and up through. Okay. So now that we have that in place, we can put our 6 seed beads on. And I am going to grab my little sticky mat. For my loom. So I don't have to bounce it around so much. Now we're just getting the teeth kind of on this, but it'll hold it somewhat for us, okay? So now we're going to add 6 seed beads. So, 1. And these, of course, these rosaline are a little see-through, so give yourself some grace when you're picking them up, especially if you're close to my age. 5 and 6. Okay. And the reason I kind of have my beads slid over, guys, so you can't really see me picking them up, is because the wire will catch them and spray them across the room for you. So I decided let's not do that today. So I thought that would be the best. So we're going to lay our 6 seed beads across like so. And I kind of do a little bit of an angle wrap around and push up through the center. All right. So now we kind of have our 6 seed beads in place. Okay. So now before we put the next loop on, I'm going to put 2 more seed beads. But wire will find the smallest dang thing to send flying. Yeah, wire will. That's for sure, Tamara. No doubt about it. So 2 more seed beads. And I'm letting those drop down on my wire. Again, you want to hold them across your silver silk, like so. And then you're just going to push your wire under and up through the middle and give it a little snug pull just to kind of secure those seed beads there. And then we're going to grab our next gem cut bead. And once you get the rhythm of it, it actually goes pretty fast. It's the beginning, I think just like with any looming project, excuse me, it can seem like at the beginning it's a little rougher to get started, and once you get going it's great. But there we go, and that's underneath. And I'm gonna wrap one time around, and I'm pushing that down. I'm pulling it around. Like I said, just give yourself patience with the wire. And this one's just like our link, or our anchor, excuse me. This is our little first anchor, and then we're going to pick up 2 seed beads. And then wrap it again. Okay, and I just let those fall. Bend them across the silver silk. And then push down through. I'm just going to pull that through, and I'm just making sure my seed beads are still sitting on top as I have my hand over top here. I'm not trying to block your view. I just want to make sure those are sitting in the right place. And keep in mind, guys, this is wire. So you have a pair of pliers nearby. If you need to adjust something, you want to push the wires together, you can certainly do that. And that's wire is very forgiving. That's one of the many things I like about it. So now we have our 2 on the top of the line, and I'm going to put on 6 more. And then we're going to go across at an angle. Do you have any questions, guys, so far? So a variation you could do on this, either you could use all of the gem cuts and just the side seed beads, or you could just do the gem cuts with the middle seed beads, or just the gem cuts by themselves if you prefer it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. Looks like we need 1 more. And they always fight me. Just how they roll. I'm sorry, I'm just getting over a cold, guys. If I keep clearing my throat, I do apologize there. So I'm just going to lay those across and then hold them in place and push my wire around and pull it up through the center. Okay. And I kind of was holding on to the end of that as I was doing it, so it wasn't too awful difficult to get it where I wanted it. So what I did is I had that up a little high on the silver silk. I had it up sitting somewhere I didn't want it. So what I can do before I tighten it down, guys, is I can just scooch it back in place and then tighten it. Okay. So we're going to come back up through the middle. push it up through and then grab it, pull. Hi, Nicole. And then we're going to add our 2 seed beads. Okay. And if you straighten your end out like this, just like a needle, guys, that makes it so much easier to pick up your seed beads. I'm just dropping those down. And then around and up through. And once we get the 2 seed beads on, next comes the gem cut bead. Okay. And we're going to wrap that around. Actually, that's supposed to come underneath. I do apologize, guys. Your gem cut's going to come up under. Your wire is going to come up under. Okay. Push that down through the center and then pull. All right. And that's our anchor. We always have an anchor and then 2 seed beads and then the 6 seed beads. Okay. So we're anchoring it in. Okay, where we want it. And then we're going to pick up 2 more seed beads. Okay, drop those down. And I'm laying it across the silver silk. Pushing down through. And you'll see how I kind of switch back and forth between hands with the wire and the beads and the just hold what I'm holding the beads with. It just makes it a lot easier to do that. If that way, then you have the best control. All right, so we have our 2 seed beads up there, and I just want to make sure those are up there before I give it a little pull. And then I'm going to add 6 more seed beads. Okay. Would help if I brought them closer, I'd imagine, for my eyes. So we've got 4. Let's add 2.
Wait.
What?
You're weaving with the wire?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
What Patrick's Day are we talking about?
You're not in the loop, huh? I guess I didn't make that clear.
No, I guess it just didn't register in my brain that you were like literally weaving with the wire. Like that is so stinking cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you're like doing the thing.
I'm doing the thing, I always have to do the thing.
Get out of here with your bad self. All right, I'm removing myself. I just had to say that.
Stay. I'd like you to stay. That's fine.
No, that's okay. No, I'm tripping out. I'm just like, did she?
Freaking out right now. What? Freaking out right now.
I'm freaking out.
Well, good. I'm glad.
Yeah,
glad it made you happy.
This is stinking cool.
Thank you.
This is totally cool. I love it. Okay, I'm removing. I'm such a bad student. I'm going now. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so we have our 6 across here, guys, and we're going to go around. Yes, Carol, I am using SilverSilk. That's what these 2 strands are right here, these beautiful strands. This is actually the dark rose, I believe. Yes, this is the dark rose capture chain, if you're looking for this exact. It's super gorgeous. I mean, all of it is. Come on, guys. Let's just be straight. It's all gorgeous. But Mealy does an outstanding job. He's a heck of a guy, too. So that always makes it even better. So I'm just making sure that all my 6 seed beads are where I want them there. And then I'm going to grab 2 more. Okay, got my 2. I'm going to drop those down and lay them across the silver silk. The beautifulness. And I'm going to hold those in place as I take this wire and I bring it around and push it up through the middle. All right. All right. Now I'm going to, where I brought that wire up, I want to move that back just a smidge hair. So before I lock anything in, I'm going to make sure my seed beads are in the right place where I want them. Okay. And then I'm going to pull my wire back and secure it, pull up on it just slightly, and then wrap around again. Okay, and now we're ready to put on another gem cut. So you can see how quickly this actually goes once you start getting the rhythm of it. So we'll put another gorgeous gem cut. I have used so many of these things. I love them so much. I don't know why there it goes. It's in the wrong direction. I love these gem cuts so much. They're so versatile and they are just plain gorgeous and high-end looking. And they really partner well with the SilverSilk because of that. Because anytime I talk about SilverSilk, I always say, you know, it's very high-end looking. It's very high-end. It just gives off those vibes to me. And I feel the same way with the gem cut beads. Gorgeous. So we put our anchor around. What gauge wire? I am using a 26 gauge. So will SilverSilk only work on the loom as opposed to the others? The SilverSilk works on this loom because of the teeth that are here. Okay. These are wide enough to fit the SilverSilk into nicely. All right. If you have an old fiber loom, it might work, but this is specifically designed for SilverSilk. Now, next week, I'll be doing a pendant that'll actually contain hemp and SilverSilk. So you can combine the two things to make something as well. You know. So we put our anchor on. We're going to add 2 more seed beads. Got it. Melody, the pink seed beads is really pretty with the gems. Oh, thank you, Paula. These Rosaline seed beads, I adore. I use them way more than I probably should. But I love them so much. I'm a pink girl, just in case everyone didn't know that already. Since my business is called Pink Poodle Jewelry Studio, it's kind of a giveaway on what I like in my life. Pink and poodles, you know. Jules is laughing. Hey, I'm a simple person, you know. I'm a simple person. So I'm getting those seed beads over on top of that SilverSilk and making sure they're in place. And then I'm going to give that a nice tug. Okay. And it's there. And now we're going to add our 6. And I'm kind of going to look at this, make sure I have everything in the position I want. I kind of like to just make sure everything's nice and snug. Going good. And that's the one nice thing again about the wire. Another nice thing about the wire, guys, it's flexible. Just like the SilverSilk, it's flexible. So if you need to kind of make an adjustment here or a movement there, it's easy. All right, so add 6 seed beads. Hence your business name. Yes, that's for sure, Suzanne. And one of these days, I'll have to show you guys my girls. They're my babies. So we have our 6 on there. And we're going to go across on the top. And then we're going to go around and up through. And that's going to be our anchor on that side. All right, I'm just going to move that back into place exactly where I want it before I glue on that. And that's our anchor. So we're going to add 2 seed beads on now to lay on top. I just kind of liked how the seed beads acted on there on the top of the silver silk. They kind of move a little bit, and I thought they just added just a little bit more bling at the top, on the top of it, you know. So I'm going to grab 2 more of those, as I said. All right. And I'm holding that with my thumb, pushing down, around, and through the middle. All right. And now we're going to make sure this goes underneath, because this is where we're going to put on our gem cut. Once we do the 2, we're always going to be putting on the gem cut. All right. Put that up and under, around and through for our anchor. And then up and add 2 more. Okay. Really, the only thing extra that we're doing here, guys, other than like with normal looming, is we're putting anchors on. Okay, and we're decorating the top of the silver silk with seed beads. Other than that, it's over the top. And you make your little sandwich. That's what I always call it. Your thread on the top and your thread on the bottom. It makes you a little sandwich around your warps. You know, I'm always hungry though, so that's probably part of the reason I call it a sandwich. So anyway, let's move this down. Just put it back in the position I want before I pull too hard on it. And then add our 6. We're going to come up and over now. And you'll see me, I just keep going back and just putting the silver silk, making sure it's nice and tight in there. It stays quite well, but I tend to like be very aggressive with my pieces that I have in there in the looms, on the looms. I don't know why, but you all are probably a lot more gentle than I am with things, so you won't have that problem. So we got 5. All right. And around. Now I keep a tape measure nearby, guys, as I'm making it, so I can keep measuring it as I go. Once I think, you know, however long it is, excuse me, take a measure. Well, we've only got 2 inches at this point, but you get the idea. Is once it gets, I like to get mine to 6 inches, and then that way I leave room. I have a 7-inch wrist, so I leave room for my clasp and my SilverSilk ends. All right, so we're doing 2 more. Round and up through. Okay, and then once we get inside here with this, after the seed beads, we always drop it in underneath. Okay, I always tend to like pull it up through for some reason, but it's supposed to just stay underneath.
Paula wants to know, so every time you go around, you put on 2 seed beads with the gemstones?
No, you put 2 seed beads on either side. So you put an anchor, a seed bead, then your 6 seed beads, then 2 seed beads. Then you would do your gem cut, anchor, then 2 seed beads, 6 seed beads, 2 seed beads. You make sure you have your anchors on both sides though. We're going around twice on the outside of the silver silk. on both sides. And the second go round is always the 2 seed beads. I don't know if I answered that. I hope it made sense.
Yeah, and Paula, just know that this live lives on not only the YouTube channel, but you can always go to the Jewel Loom blog, so you'll always have access to rewind and watch. But hopefully that helped explain it a little bit more. Vicki says you're going around the capture chain. Can you just through?
You certainly can. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, you can absolutely sew through the capture chain. But what I found for myself personally, I'm not a terribly accurate person. So I tried sewing through it, and for myself, they were like getting kind of wonky because I weren't getting them in the same exact spot. So it was off a little bit, and I could not stand that. So if you are more accurate or that doesn't bother you, you go right ahead with your bad self. But that just was not something that I could do without getting frustrated.
Technique.
Right.
It's just a technique, basically, because like on this bracelet, I was weaving through the chain, through the bead, and doing traditional weft, right?
Right.
And so in this instance, you're just wrapping, so to speak, right?
Wrapping, yeah, basically. Yeah. It's
Tricia's wrapping.
The same concept, but it's wire. So yes, it's being wrapped.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see people, try this, because this is really fun.
Well, thank you. It was. Yeah. I get these brainstorms, and just like today when I was working on my pendant, I had a thought in my head, but you know how it is.
Yeah. No, I do know how it is. It just took me like 3 months to design one project.
I'm usually pretty good with it, but it depends. Sometimes I have an idea and in the end it doesn't work, but sometimes it does. So
yeah, but that's the fun part about the design process, right?
Oh, I love designing.
What I love about the workshops too is that I feel like everybody kind of takes the product that they get in the kits and then will birth either exactly what I have created or they totally put their own twist on it, and I love that. It's so empowering.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you completely.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. Okay, bye-bye.
So, as you can tell, guys, we probably aren't going to finish this in the next 15 minutes. Who knows? Something, I might get speedy all of a sudden. But if we don't get to take it off the loom and put the ends on it tonight, I will come back because it's me next week again. You're stuck with me again. And we're going to make a SilverSilk pendant. So before we start the pendant, I will quickly show you how to remove this off the loom. Excuse me. And to put the SilverSilk ends on. If you're a fan of knee-lays, I'm sure you know how to put your ends on, but we'll go over it just to make sure. If you're not a fan of knee-lays, you should be. We like to share the love. So there we go. Okay, 2 more. I can't believe we're almost done for tonight. This just went so fast. Okay. How are we doing on questions? I have a brainstorm frozen in time on my loom. Time to redesign again. Okay. That was Vicky, of course. Melody, I love that I can use larger beads and SilverSilk. I am just finishing up a 15-0 bracelet, and I can only do under a magnifier. Yeah, I know what you mean. When you use the seed beads so much on the fine projects, it kind of makes your eyes cross sometimes, and you're ready for something that you can, add some big beads to and give it a little bit of arm strength, just. So here we go. We're picking up 3, 4, 5, and 6. Whoop. I always do that too, guys. So we just got that across. And the other thing that I found too, I had some clips that I had on my, because again, I say I lift up, I move it, I pull it here, I pull it there, on my jewelry bench. And I just clipped my SilverSilk on the end here, and I tended to lift it up less. But that's just me. When I work with my original, usually I'll hold my work, hold my loom at an angle and support it with my work as I'm working on it. So if that tells you what's going on there. So I've got 2 more seed beads. We'll work here for about another 5 minutes, guys, and then we'll get Jules back in here and say goodnight. So if you have any more questions, make sure you get them in here so I can answer them for you. Okay. So now we're going to go under and we're going to grab our gem cut bead. Okay, our anchor. But you can see what I mean when I say make sure you feed the middle through, guys. Don't feed the end through. I know you'll be tempted to. But it works so much better if you put the middle through. All right, put these 2 on this side. And you will slide down there. Thank you. And then around. And see what I mean about the seed beads slipping? They'll fly down on you guys if you're not careful with holding them in place when you come around, okay? And then they'll get underneath and you'll have to unwrap and go back. Nobody wants to do that. So add 6 more. I think this one's going to be mine with the pink and the beautiful dark rose. Kind of goes with my outfit today too, so. All right, there's 4, 5, and 6. And like I said, I'm getting this. I like mine angled. If you want yours straight across, you can certainly do that. I just think it gives it a real nice look with it angled. And the other thing is too, guys, I was looking at this bracelet. Now this is the side that we're doing here, the one that I made. And here is the underside. So what it does in essence is if you want, you could wear it both ways. If you just wanted the gem cuts to be more dominant, you could wear it on that side. If you wanted the gem cuts and the seed beads together, you could wear it on that side. If you warm the wire by running it through your fingers every so often, it will keep it more pliable. And that is 100% right, Nikki. Thank you for saying that. We have your permission to be wonky, right? You don't need permission because I'm Queen Wonky. Let's just get that straight. I'm the queen of the wonkiness sometimes. And make sure when you're pulling on your wire here, guys, you're not pulling too terribly hard because you don't want to warp your SilverSilk either, okay? So we're going to anchor. Oh no, we're gonna grab our gem. Excuse me. We'll grab our gem cut. Thank you, Joyce. It is versatile. If it is versatile, there's a lot of ways you can make it. It's just a good stepping off point, and I always just try to teach that. You know, any technique I teach, you know, I always say, put your spin on it. Show me what you can do, basically. And let's see, 2 more.
I'm back.
There's Miss Jules. Okay. Let's get my camera switched around. So I'll remove myself and you can take center stage for a moment.
Oh. Whoa. Wow. Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, Trish will be back on next Thursday with the SilverSilk Loom, correct? Because that's the pendant, if I'm not mistaken. Everyone's shaking their head. Neelay and I will be on May 26th with the SilverSilk Loom. And then are you using it again on the 26th, Trish?
No, we aren't.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So it'll be Neelay and I will be on with it. And
yes.
Then I know I'm a part of the SilverSilk soiree in June. But my point is, we are loving on this loom.
Yes.
We are nurturing it. We are showing you how to use it. So just rest assured that there is a group of us, correct? So between myself, Tricia, is that you?
Oh. It just sounds like the people from where I come from. So
hey, right on, man. The best people. I love it. Tricia, Amber, myself, Joan is actually designing. You know, she's quiet. She's a quiet one, and then she comes out with like, you know, ta-da! So I'm super excited to see how her ideas come together with the SilverSilk Loom. Neelay has already designed some pretty rockin' stuff. Danielle did some really cool stuff. So the gist of it is like this loom is being loved on. It's being nurtured. We're showing you how to use it, especially since it's obviously a little bit different with the SilverSilk chain and the bigger, you know, the bigger, wider grooves.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, just know that that we love our SilverSilk.
Yes, most certainly
it's
we
do. It's
do.
So stinking adorable, and Neelay loves it as well. Because I even said, "Hey, listen, we're booze, so you can be honest with me. Is there anything you want to change?" And he's like, "What?" You know, he was like straight up, "No." I'm like, "Okay,
I love him.
I'm just asking because I could make that happen." But no, like if it ain't right, what is that saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But and Neelay, of course, has been hiding.
Oh, he's been
nice.
Oh, he's hiding. Well,
he's lurking.
We love you, Neelay, whether you're hiding or not.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah. And great project, and anytime you want to show the ending of that, like however you want that to come together, you know, I'm open to whatever works for you. So
okay, well, plan on doing it next week, but if I get a wild hair, I might just make a video and post it to the YouTube channel, your YouTube channel. So
whatever floats your boat, babe.
Okie doke.
Hey, listen, I posted earlier, and so the giveaway is for shipping addresses within the U.S., just so that's out on the table. And again, Franny from Mesa, Arizona won the Jewel Loom Deluxe Starter Kit, and those have been hugely popular. People are loving it. It's the Jewel Loom, the baby Jewel Loom, the Jewel Loom needles, beads, hemp cord. I'm even throwing in a couple yards of wildfire.
That's crazy.
And a button. And if I could jump in the pack,
very generous
to you, I would.
If you would bring it and show them, if you could.
Did you order this? I should do that to somebody locally.
That's right.
Excuse me. I've come with your goods.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in my I do this every once in a while. I break out into accents. I don't know. It's weird. And I haven't been drinking, so I don't know.
You're just a happy soul,
Perfect.
that's all.
Weaving makes me happy. It truly does.
Me
It
as
really,
well. Yes.
I could be down and out and I will just start weaving. That's how come I just show up every once in a while out of the blue, like at 10 o'clock at night.
I'm in the bed at 10 o'clock at night.
June. Okay, now I'm on the, why? What is this? Joan.
What's the matter? What?
I just called her June.
June?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Is it June Cash? Are you Johnny Cash, June and Johnny? I don't know. Sammy? It's 5 o'clock. And it's 8 o'clock where you all are at or somewhere else. I know. Yeah. She called Amber Heather earlier. We're a mess. Oh my God. Yeah. We are just, Lord forgive us. So funny. But okay, let's
payback.
Okay. So let's just review that whole giveaway thing again. So
yes.
Go to the Jewel Loom. Joan's going to put that up. And so you sign up for the newsletter. If you haven't already, you want to sign that up because it also unlocks the gated sale page, right? So I'm starting to put some things in there. Did you know that before the Weaving Goddess was the Weaving Goddess, she was like a bunch of prototypes? And yeah. I've never shown those. And I'm going to put them in the sell area. Wow. So there's some Weaving Goddesses that have never even been seen.
Those
let
are
alone
like collector
sold.
Items to me.
Yeah. Yeah, because they were phase 1 of like, what do you think?
Yeah.
And they were jamming, but we ended up doing a couple other things. But I have like, I don't know, a dozen. So I'm going to put those into the sales page. But it's for people who sign up for the newsletter, okay? So go do that. You're going to get a free pattern. You're going to get your 15% off coupon. Make sure you use Tricia's affiliate link. It doesn't change your price. All it does is means you use her link, okay? You're like, hey, you're knocking on your door. You click the link, and then you go into the shop, and then you shop, and the prices are the same. They don't change because you came in with her link. You're just helping to support her because she does all this amazing, amazing work. So that's all. It doesn't affect you at all, even if you use Afterpay or whatever else is set up in the system. Okay? So it doesn't affect you, but use her link and come in. Like, hey, girl.
Hey, girl, hey.
I heard you got some stuff. And then you're going to come in and you shop. Okay. All right.
And we're all good shopping.
Yeah. Anyway, I adore you. I love you. You are such a great designer. You're a phenomenal presenter. I love it. I can't wait to be standing next to you one day.
I know.
So we can, yeah, it'll be fun. I'm going to make my way out to the East Coast. Trust me.
As always, I thank you for letting me do this with you. And always have a great time and enjoy the ladies.
Yes, yes. And we love our Amber and we miss her and she will be back.
Yes.
And just a lot of love and lots of prayers and kisses, kissing you.
I always tell her Joan, we'll be here when she comes back. We'll be waiting for her. So whenever she's ready to come, whenever.
Yeah.
So.
And big props to our Jewel Loom concierge, Joan. I haven't really called her out by her new title, but
I'm going to start calling her Heather.
Concierge. June.
Heather June.
Okay. Rambling. I love you.
Love you too, Jules. Thanks so much. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week with the fun pendant. Bye.